I think most people can agree that the five permanent members reflect the world in 1945 and not in 2025. And I know this is a wonky topic, but there are now a few reform ideas floating around. Just give us a sense of what the gist of the main ones are and how you rate their chances of success.
Well, look, I've worked on Security Council reform on and off for over 10 years, and I would quite like that bit of my life back because it's a profoundly frustrating topic. And wonky, wonky understates exactly how technical and annoying this can become. But it is true to say that since February 2022, there has been a growing tide of calls to accelerate Security Council reform. And that was initially in response to Russia's behavior in the Council over Ukraine, and then more recently in response to the US vetoes over Gaza. I think at the General Assembly session last year, nearly half of the presidents and prime ministers who spoke said that it's time to reform the Security Council. Diplomats are betting that that number will actually go up in the speeches in the coming week. The problem is everyone agrees that the council needs reform. It's less clear that anyone can agree what that reform exactly should look like. You have four powers, India, Brazil, Germany, and Japan, that have been campaigning together for 2 decades to get new permanent seats on the council. But China, for example, loathes the idea that Japan and India could join it at the top table as additional Asian permanent members. And there are similar regional dynamics relating to the other three. What people have been able to agree so far is that Africa should have a bigger voice in the Security Council. And that was something which Linda Thomas-Greenfield supported in the run-in to the high-level week by saying that the US now supports Africa getting 2 permanent seats in the council. There's also a
But
sense
these are seats without a veto power, is that right?
that's the US proposal, yes. The US says that as the veto is the problem, other states shouldn't be given the veto. But of course, the US is not going to give up its own veto, so that is slightly sensitive. There is agreement on some other more technical aspects of how the council works, who gets to write resolutions and so on. And there's also a sense that just diplomacy on this issue, which has gone on in a very routine, very slow fashion for many years, needs to speed up. So something that the US has called for, and actually all UN members have signed up to, is that there should be more detailed discussions in the year ahead about different models for Security Council reform, how to break down some of the differences. I think we will see some quite intensive diplomacy about this. That doesn't guarantee that we'll get to any sort of viable outcome, but the topic is now, I think, sort of pinned pretty high on the agenda.